Hey, what's up, man? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of My Take. And also, man, accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button if you like the content. If not, I appreciate you for tuning in anyway. All right, so tonight was a very epic game. And to be honest, man, like I already mentioned, Brunson needs his flowers now. That dude, not only is he clutch, he's unorthodox, hard to guard, and he's a game changer. Y'all seen that. Brunson, when he went out the whole entire second quarter, this man team basically folded. They was down by 10 at the halftime. He came back, put them up by 10. If that ain't a game changer, I don't know what is. It just shows you the level of importance that he is, to any organization. And I know the Dallas Mavericks have to be kicking themselves right now. To play against Gildress, SGA and in the OKC, you gotta know right now that man is kicking himself. That organization is kicking themselves. To play with Luka and then end up getting that player traded, and then you see how this man is doing. I know Luka is mad right now. I know that he wish he wasn't as selfish on offense as he was, because right now he getting exposed by SGA. The OKC is exposing the Dallas Maverick right now. But this Knicks game, this Knicks versus the Indiana Pacers, is a hell of a series. But I also think that, the Knicks are the better team. I believe that they're going to end up trading Julius Randle because they showed you they don't need him. And he's just going to be in the way. So what benefit can Julius Randle offer this Knicks team, other than entitlement? I don't think that they're going to need this person. But, man, let me break down some of the X's and O's, man, because the Knicks could have lost this game, and I'm going to explain why the Knicks could have lost this game. First of all, neither team can protect the three-point line. They were over-pursuing. They over-pursued the whole entire game. All the Indiana kept doing was basically stepping to the side and shooting the ball, or they were open. They wasn't effectively double teaming. And then far as for the Indiana Pacers, Indiana, they kept putting themselves in a position to get to be in foul trouble. Why would you continue to do a soft full court press? It kept everybody out of position. It was the silliest thing that I've seen, in basketball. If you're going to do a press, it better be a hard press. You better make sure that every player is where they're supposed to be. But instead, they did a soft press. And then, as you see, there were some times where the guard ended up getting in foul trouble or fouling the player, but it was unnecessary. So basically, you want to do the press, and now you possibly giving more fouls than you actually need. It didn't make sense. The game plan for Indiana didn't make sense. I like Rick Carlisle. I like him. I think he's a good coach. He won a championship. But what that dude did was very silly. The plan for both of these teams, I want to give it like a C+, to be honest, because the Knicks was doing a soft double team, and then basically you had three people at the top. They rush, and try to contest the three. All they do is either step to the side or they pass it to another person, and they was open. Like it was the whole night. It was no adjustments being made. So I'm surprised that that New York actually won this game, because the way that they were playing, it was a silly defensive strategy. Like they were supposed to lose, but luckily, Brunson shown that he's a legit top guy. He's definitely top 5. He's top 5. He might be top 3 in the league. And his unorthodox play may not allow people to give him the credit that he deserved. But name another player outside of Curry, and Kyrie that's better than Brunson. Name me another one. I'm not gonna put Donovan Mitchell. I'm not gonna put Holiday. I'm not gonna put none of these people. I don't think y'all can name me three other point guards that's better than Brunson, at least right now. That dude is doing everything that he's supposed to. And also, man, like I say, if y'all like this content, man, definitely hit the subscribe button, man. You know, looking to build the right community. All right, so the what's his name? Tyrese Halliburton. He was shooting some crazy shots, but he was making them. But it also bit him in the end because he kept trying to shoot those same shots and it wasn't working out for him. And in fact, I think the Indiana is silly because they kept going to the hole and scoring in the paint. But instead, they were looking for the 3-point shot, and then it turned out to bite them. They should have stayed consistent and stayed going to the paint. It seemed like New York could not do nothing to stop them from getting to the paint. Miles Turner could not be stopped in the paint. Nobody could stop these players on the Indiana Pacers team. So when they was deviating away from that, man, it didn't make sense to me at all. I was trying to figure out, like, hold on, if they scoring, getting to the hole at will, why the hell are you going away from that? And I want to ask y'all a question too. Am I the only one that's seen that they allow they allow Indiana to play New York way rougher and tougher than they were allowing New York to play them, because they got some soft and one calls. Indiana, they were getting like basically touch fouls and they were giving it back to Indiana. Even when they called that double, right? They tried to give Indiana the momentum, but it was too obvious for them to be able to give it to the Indiana Pacers. But they called a double dribble in a critical, crucial time. But then, you know, they had to overturn it because it was too obvious. But like I say, man, based on the style of play, they allow Indiana to go back to the 90s and play physical, rough, rugged, because they were fouling Brunson quite often, and he wasn't getting a lot of them calls. He was not getting them calls. They were fouling Brunson so much, but he wasn't getting those calls. But then they were calling touch fouls and one, you know, calls. Luckily, they kept missing the free throws, but they kept calling it against New York. And they were only touch fouls. Didn't even look like real fouls. And I have no horse in the race. I'm not an Indiana fan or a New York Knicks fan, but I can be honest and neutral. They allow the New York Knicks I'm sorry, they allow Indiana Pacers to foul, to play rough, to play tough. They were grabbing on Brunson, they were grabbing Hart. Hart got fouled a lot. Josh Hart, man, they were doing a lot of stuff, but they wasn't allowing that same type of physical play to be done versus versus Indiana Pacers. So they was calling them against the New York Knicks, but they wasn't calling it, they wasn't calling it against the Indiana Pacers. So, I'm looking at it, man. I just got to look at the odds, but we got to give Brunson all the credit in the world. This young man literally scored 29 after missing the entire quarter. And if he would have had 31, if he would have made both free throws, but to be that good and to be that small and to be a game changer and to play as if he was a big man and to be able to still trust in his teammate, man, that's right there is what you call a true point guard, because he makes people better. And I know I'm gonna throw a lot of people off with this. If you put LeBron on that team won't be as successful as they are now. Please leave a comment if you think that that's absurd. I think that Brunson is a better facilitator, game manager than LeBron James. I think that. And the reason why I keep bringing up this man's name is because y'all see all of this talent that we have in the NBA, and the only people that y'all hear about is the Lakers. Like they robbing us. The NBA been robbing us of all these good players, man. You got to go to the league pass to see these teams and our way to the playoffs like we are now and see how good these teams are. But I think for the most part, man, I think that the New York is going to win this series. The thing is, Indiana is still a tough team. They got to go home. Can New York still win at the Indiana Pacers arena? If they can still win, I feel that they can win this series. But y'all see how these young men can play. Halliburton and them. Y'all can see to be at home, getting that energy and to play, at home and be able to entertain their crowd. Like it's gonna be hard to win in Indiana. I don't think it's gonna be a cakewalk. But I'm gonna say this, man. If they allow New York to get played to, if they allow the Indiana Pacers to play as physical as they did tonight and keep calling touch fouls versus the New York Knicks, it's going to be hard for the Knicks to win. And I'm just going to be honest with y'all. And I think far as out of these two teams, because I'm going to say that the Boston is going to win their series. Out of these two teams, I truly believe that the New York Knicks is the tougher team for the Boston Celtics. I think that they will put up more of a fight than the Indiana Pacers. I think Halliburton is good, but they got too many players for him. And then I don't think that all the other players will, step up the way they're supposed to. So I think, the New York Knicks will be a better challenge, but we'll see. I think that these two teams are really good. They're very even. We already know that Indiana Pacers is the leading scoring team, within the season. But I gotta say this, man. This is a hell of a series. This series might be better than Orlando Magic versus the Cavs. So, that's all I got for now, though. New York Knicks, Brunson is the truth. We got to put the truth behind him. Brunson, the truth. Halliburton, he's on his way, but like he's not there yet. Brunson is there. The dude is a game changer, and he can't be stopped by nobody. And you see they got to double team him, but that don't do nothing anyway. All he does is all Brunson does is, see the floor, allow, the game to come to him, and then, he act accordingly. See, a lot of people wasn't doing that. They wasn't doing that. Oh, and last thing before I head out. Did y'all see when the Knicks end up getting the ball, the rebound? Did y'all see how they kept rushing and it kept throwing turnovers? That can't happen again. Now, if they at home, that's a momentum changer for the Indiana Pacers. And everybody that plays this game know that basketball is a game of momentum. You got to get the momentum. You feel what I'm saying? And if you get the momentum, then you probably go on a 15-2 run or something like that. But yeah, man, they can't throw them turnovers the way that they did. And I think that the Knicks allowed the Indiana Pacers to speed them up too much. And in return, they was making bad decisions. But man, thank y'all for tuning in. Like I said, man, if y'all like the content, man, please hit the subscribe button. I'm out though.